How's it going, wrestling fans? Tom here from CollectAWrestlePalooza. Gonna be a quick video today. I'm doing a mailbag. We're just gonna be opening up one box. I'm gonna tell you the story why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm opening it now as opposed to waiting for my bench to collect. And also I'm gonna show you my main man, Ivan. Look at this guy. So cute. Mwah. Love him so much. Love my kitties. It's a good day. We're going to have some fun. We're going to open up a box and let's see what's inside.
CollectAWrestlePalooza. CollectAWrestlePalooza.
So you can't see off camera, I'm actually sitting on the ground and Ivan is watching me. It's hard to have a cat when you collect things, so I tend to have some clean rooms and clean areas when I go through my cards, but for the sake of this video, and he does tend to come into my man cave when I have the door open and he's able to come in, and just a curious guy, a really sweet soul, and love him very much. He's got a new buddy, his name is Sven, so we've got Ivan and Sven, our two black cats. They're definitely bonded and they definitely have fun together. You can tell when you get home they're always chasing each other and playing tag and all that stuff that kitty cats do. So anyway, this is the box I'm going to open. I'm going to tell you why I'm opening it right now. Normally I wait for 2, 3, 4 packages to collect on my bench and then I pull some at random and I see what's inside and I forget what's inside by the time I open it, which is part of the fun. This one, I hope, is a sealed VHS of a WWF Coliseum video that's pretty rare and pretty valuable by my estimation, and I got it for a steal. I did an eBay auction and I put in a bid that I didn't think would win and I won. I woke up in the morning and I looked and it said pay now, and I couldn't believe it because normally when I do that I always get outbid. That works for me one time out of 100 that I'll put a bid in. That's, you know, maybe not a super low ball, but something that I don't think would be considered if it wasn't in an auction. So anyway, I'm hoping that it's in here because I wouldn't blame the seller if they didn't send it to me. I mean, I would because, you know, a deal's a deal. If you put something at auction, you have to accept the results. But if I were in that seller's shoes, I would probably not want to send it either, except that I absolutely would because you want to be honorable and, you know, like I said, a deal's a deal and you feel good about the buyer and you want to make sure that you're perpetuating good habits in the hobby and that you're exemplifying good habits in the hobby. You don't want to be someone that plays the games and makes more mistrust in the hobby, particularly on platforms like eBay, where I think a lot of people don't trust them already. So all of that being said, the seller did not put tracking, put a shipping date with no tracking. And that made me suspicious. Put my antenna up of, is this something that I'm not going to get the item? So he sent me a message today on eBay on the app and said, have you gotten your package yet? My lady friend threw away the receipt with the tracking. Hope you received it. If it's not in here, then it better come in the next couple days, or I probably didn't get it, and then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do at that point and how I'm going to handle it. But let's hope that it's just in here and there's no problem. It's media mail. I don't know what's inside, so I think it must be it. But the thing that gives me pause is the name on the label here is not the same as the name of the person who sent me a message as the seller. So we're going to find out together. Let's do it. Alright, so we've got some paper packaging here. Luckily the tape is pretty recessed. This is not it. This is not it. This is a different tape. This is not the one that I thought it could be. So the plot thickens. I'm going to stay on this. I'll keep you in the know on the channel in terms of what happens. But I'm starting to think that the guy didn't send it to me. All right, stay tuned. But I might as well show you what this is while I have it, because this is a pretty cool VHS as well. Ultimate Fighting Championship, it's a screener. If I'm going to get the sealed UFC tapes, I try to get screeners. When I started collecting them, these were pretty sought after, sealed. Now they don't sell as much as they did a few years ago, but they're still pretty cool. Outside of UFC 1, UFC 2, some of the bigger events, this is UFC 16. So by this point, some of the pioneers had already moved on. The Ken Shamrocks, the Dan Severns, and the Hoist Gracies were no longer fighting. And you had folks like Frank Shamrock. This is Frank Shamrock versus Igor Vochenchin, I think is how you pronounce it. There's also a heavyweight super fight, Kimo. So that gives you an idea of the talent that was in the Federation. I should say in the UFC at this point. But it's a screener, which means that it wasn't intended for sale. It's arguably more rare and arguably more valuable. So if I can get them for a good price, I'll pick them up. I love just having these artifacts of that time. It feels kind of taboo at the time when you went to video stores. This sometimes would have been shelved in the adult sections because people didn't understand mixed martial art as a sport. And also it was advertised as a pretty brutal event, which sometimes it was, but probably a little bit of a over-exaggeration of what was contained on the video, which generally was a lot of guys that are really tired and sweaty laying on the ground after an outburst of 5 to 10 seconds of action. So anyway, but it was cool. Ultimate Fighting Championship became a mainstay. It became a big sport that is a part of culture. So buying the early UFC events on VHS is definitely something that I will continue to do. This one's number 16, Battle in the Bayou, and it is a sealed screener. So that does it. Like I said, stay tuned. I'm thinking about sending that guy a message and saying, you better send me the tracking. But like I said, I kind of can't blame him. But at the same time, too, it's like, I won this auction. I'm excited for this. So what would you guys do? Leave some comments and stay tuned. I'll let you know. So right when I had lost hope and thought I would never receive the package, this came in the mail. It has the right return address. I think this is what I ordered. I can't wait to open it. We're going to make sure that it is the VHS Grail, the sealed Coliseum WWF masterpiece. Let's open it right now. But before I do, I just want to highlight that this is a reminder to be charitable in your thinking. Don't assume the worst. A lot of times I do. I just imagine if someone doesn't have tracking and if things seem like they're a little off, I assume that there's something wrong or going wrong. But even if there is, you always want to give people a chance to correct their mistakes before you do anything rash. I would have contacted him and seen what the next steps were. I know I was maybe more animated than I should have been in assuming that something sketchy was going on, but just a reminder to myself and to others that most of the time people are charitable and want to do the right thing, particularly if they're on eBay and if they have positive reviews and all of that, as this guy did. The other thing that he had that I didn't mention in the last video is the eBay store had a name that didn't really mean anything. It was a series of letters and numbers that didn't match up. And that also gave me pause that it was someone who was cycling through accounts and maybe didn't care about the positive reviews. But first of all, I'm going to open this up and make sure that it is the right thing. But I think in general, this one is going to work out in my favor. So let's open it right now. And where the box is quite small, I want to be careful that my scissor doesn't actually go into the VHS because I don't think that the box, the VHS box cover is that far from the surface of the box. So I'm going to be a little more careful in how I dissect this one. Generally, I'll try to keep boxes in good shape in case I want to reuse them. But okay, this one is kind of opening once I get the tape off the side, and then we'll do the big reveal. And let's take the inner packaging out and do the big reveal. This is in a padded envelope, and the inner packaging here, And it is. This is Survivor Series Coliseum video, shrink wrapped. This is it. I'm so excited to have this on video, shrink wrapped. And I don't know if the shrink wrap is original. That is going to be hard for me to... Oh, because it's open on the bottom. It's not actually shrink wrapped. It's open. I don't know if it was sold as brand new or not. That's what I'm going to have to look at, because I feel like it was not sold as brand new, but then in the pictures you saw the shrink wrap, but that's why I got it for less money. Okay, well, still in really good condition, at least in terms of the box being bright and colorful, but it's not shrink wrapped, or the shrink wrap is open, which I was not planning on or ready for. Oh well, so that's the way it goes in collecting. That's why you have to look at all the pictures really carefully. If it's an auction and it's almost over, take pause before you hit the button. But in this case, I'm okay. It wasn't that much money. $50 was probably a pretty good price for this, but I would not have paid that money if I had seen in the pictures that the shrink wrap was open. And I do recall now that the condition did not say brand new, which is why I thought that maybe I got a steal on it. But I'm going to look. If it did say brand new, I will mention that to the seller and see what's up with that. So there you have it. What do you guys think of this whole story? Tell me if you've had similar stories or things that you think about when you're buying your memorabilia and your collectibles. This is a really cool event. It's the second annual Survivor Series. It's still going to be a rare tape, like I said, and in good condition. I'm very happy with the purchase no matter what. It does have Hulk Hogan. It's got Macho Man. It's got Ultimate Warrior and Brutus Beefcake. It's got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's got Andre the Giant, Demolition, Powers of Pain, who's who of the Federation at that time, and then the box cover is iconic. So there you have it. Have a great week. We'll see you again soon.
CollectAWrestlePalooza, CollectAWrestlePalooza.